What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. It's episode number 17, and today we're returning with season finale as we play our final games in the 2-Liga, final 5 games. As you can see, on the back of the comeback win against SV Sandhausen, we're now 13 points clear of Freiburg in second, and that means that just one win in our final 5 will see us be crowned champions. Haven't lost a game since match day 4. Been a pretty incredible unbeaten run, one of the longest I've had in FIFA. So taking on Victoria Köln right down the bottom of the table for the first of the final 5. I wanted to get the job done here without needing to wait to celebrate any longer. Heading into the game though, I thought it would be a walkover against the side that finished runners-up in the 3-Liga last season to us, but instead it took a long time to get one clear-cut chance. But who was the man it fell to? Who was the man that took it? Who was the man that gave us the lead? Of course, club captain Bunesdliga. Probably not going to get to 40, but 30 is still within sight as he's bang on to win the Golden Boot this year. So 1-0 Dresden. Finally, we broke the deadlock, and then a few minutes later, got ourselves the second as well. Bunesdliga turning provider for his sort of ex-strike partner, if you will. Last season, he and Daphne had an amazing combination. This year, Daphne has sort of shared the game time with Gadikli, who came in from Bayer Leverkusen, but gave him the start in this game, scored his first in a while in a 2-0 victory against Victoria Köln. So yeah, 2-0 the final score, victory against the side that came up with us last year, runners-up. Total contrast in the season that both of us have had, but yeah, there it is, champions with 4 games to spare. And not a real surprise as well, you know, back-to-back trophies, back-to-back championships. That's really cool, because I mentioned it in the very last episode. I don't think I've done that before. You know, of all the saves I've done throughout all the different FIFAs and all the different CMs I've played, I don't recall ever winning like back-to-back championships in an RTG. I mean, I've obviously like retained a title in a top tier before, but I don't recall ever, you know, winning back-to-back titles in lower tier, or of course, you know, a second tier and then the top tier as well. So I think this is the first time I've done it. I think this is the first time I've done back-to-back titles, but it was the expectation, it was the objective at the start of the season. I said this year, you know, we're going for the title again. And of course we got after that very tough start, 2 wins in our first 5. But ever since then, lights out. I mean, literally lights out. I haven't lost a game since match day 4, so that's now 26 games unbeaten. And yeah, it's not a surprise you do lift the title, do it with game spare as well. That's really, really cool. As we are going up to the Bunesdliga for season 3. That was the minimum expectation for this year, and we've pulled it off with games to spare. So for the second of the final 5 games of the season, obviously nothing to play for now, other than trying to score as many goals as possible. And also, keep this man's very slim chance alive at hitting 40 goals in the season. Osnabrück, our second game of today's episode, where Bunesdliga gets goal number 28 and gives us the lead after a great ball across by Diawusi. And on a half an hour mark here, we scored some nice goals this season. This one is up there. A rocket from Ransford. Absolutely incredible strike there, right into the top corner, top bins. Goalkeeper route to the spot as he makes it 2-0. That was a thunderous strike from Bunesdliga for goal number 29. Yeah, he should hit 30 now, but 40, I mean, you know, 4.5 games to go, including this one here. Is it possible? 11 goals in 4.5 games? Well, I guess it probably is based on his goal-to-game ratio and how consistent he is, but that's going to be a tough one. Just getting to 30 seems likely now, though, and that'll do me fine. So Diawusi made it 3-0 in the second half. Looks though we were on course for a very convincing win. And another clean sheet for Sasha, but unfortunately with 23 minutes to go, we would lose it. Nice strike there by Sigawa into the back of the net as Osnabrück grabbed themselves a consolation goal. We still managed to maintain our unbeaten run and the winning streak as well. Heading into the third game of today's episode and the final one of April, Darmstadt in the penultimate home game of the campaign here in Dresden. Not much to report in the first half of the game, to be honest, not much going on. I guess because I'd, you know, already wrapped up the title of games to spare, I wasn't really playing with a level of intensity I can at sometimes, but 6 minutes after the restart, we would get ourselves the opening goal of the game, what ended up being the only goal of the game as well. It was a little bit cheap, but again, didn't really get a credible chance in the game, and I thought, you know, Albert Simon was running through 101. I could have grabbed him his 13th or 14th goal of the campaign, but he's a team player. He saw Ransford next to him. He said, bro, you need your 30 goals. Here you are. Have this one as the easiest of this season. So Bunesdliga does hit 30 as he scores the game winner in a 1-0 victory there against Darmstadt in the penultimate home game of the campaign. So after that, we had a scouting update and an academy update as we enter May. We picked up a really decent player, but answers on a postcard, guys. Where should this guy be playing? Ronnie Beck Becker. Physically looks fantastic. 78 strength is his best stat. He's got a 3-star weak foot, low medium work rate. He's only 5'9". He's got great jumping though. I literally cannot work out where this guy should be playing. I mean, he looks fantastic. Already 62 overall at 16, but I don't know. I was thinking maybe a defence-minded right or left midfielder. As you see, our final 2 games of the season here away at Union Berlin and at home to AUE. But I don't know where he should be playing. I mean, he looks really, really good. And I love the name as well, Ronnie Becker. I don't know why, but that sounds so cool. But I literally have no idea where that guy should be playing. 5'9", that's too small to be a centre-half, regardless of the jumping and the strength. But I really don't know. Holding mid, right mid, left mid. I mean, he's got the playmaker trait, which I know is only a CPU one, but either way, it's just a really strange player out of the academy where he looks like a jack of all trades, but a special in none. I really don't know. But anyway, Union Berlin was the penultimate game of the season, final away day as well, as they're pushing forward that second and final automatic promotion spot alongside Freiburg, taking on away from home. Fell behind early, did respond through Ransford Yeboah in the second half though, and with 10 minutes to go. Oh my goodness gracious me, the amount of nice goals we scored this season has been crazy. This one is definitely up there. Finn Ole Becker dinks the ball up in the air. It goes so high up in the sky, I thought it would come down with snow on it, and nestles into the far corner as well. I'll be honest, here's the comeback kids do it once again to win 2-1 away in Berlin. It is true, like, we've got to see, you know, chip shots toned down next year, surely, EA. I mean, it's the second straight year would have been so OP. But I can't deny they do look really, really cool as well. I mean, they're so OP. Like I said before, you barely ever miss a target with them. If you get the trajectory right, they're almost always going to go in. But either way, they're just a little bit too easy to score, you know. I mean, it still looks really cool, but either way, Becker wins us the game with 10 minutes to go. And that means that Union Berlin will have to settle for a playoff place this season. But for our final game of the season, it was indeed going to be at home in Dresden. AUE, who are our rivals, of course, don't forget. It's taking them on here. Wanted to win on the final day. Not too much to report in the game. We would score the only one of the match. Ransford Yeboah getting goal number 32 even, as he gives us the only goal of the game and a 1-0 victory. But what a great tackle at the other end by Leo Kasper, the 16-year-old who I've given a lot of minutes to at the end of the season after coming out of the academy. What a great last-ditch tackle. From that we broke and got the only goal of the game. So 1-0 victory against our rivals, AUE. I thought it was really interesting that for the third straight time we saw like scenes of wild celebrations, and I was like, lads, I'm glad we've won, but haven't we done this already? But anyway, £30 million for winning the 2 Liga. I couldn't believe it when I read that. You know, last season we got 1.6 mil for winning the 3 Liga, 30 million for winning the 2 Liga. Just call us the money bags at Dresden because we've got so many of them. But 29 wins in 34 games, final league table here, 13 points clear of Freiburg in second. Union Berlin do go into the playoffs. Could not believe we had the best defensive record in the division with only 22 goals conceded, and of course, unsurprisingly, top scorers of the league. No surprise why that is the case as well. Ransford Yeboah, 32 goals in 34 games, back-to-back golden boots. Albert Simon also got into the top 5 as well. That was really nice to see. Ransford Yeboah and Gadikli, they both had 15 assists this season each as they shared the assist title, if you will. Should have gone to Gadikli, really, for doing it in fewer games. But look at the amount of Dresden players in the top 25 assists. That was awesome there, including Leo Schaefer with a lot this season too. And also I thought this was really cool as well. Sascha Hübner, who we trusted with the starting goalkeeper position this year. The teenager won the Golden Glove, and that is such a great improvement from his first year in professional football. So look at the team of the season. As you can see, 4 representatives: Ransford Yeboah, Dyer, Wusi, Becker and Pfeiffer. Interesting there was no Albert Simon. I thought Simon should have been in there, but fair enough. 4 representatives there. Yeboah did indeed win the Golden Boot. Hübner won goalkeeper of the tournament, and unsurprisingly, player of the tournament for the second straight year, Ransford Yeboah. 77 rated now, 90 sprint speed, 87 finishing, 86 attack position. This guy is an absolute machine. So one final look at the squad hub to end the season off as well. As you can see, Hübner went up really nicely this season. I'm so glad I did decide to loan out Milan and sell Kevin Broll as well. I'm going to give Hübner the number 1 jersey next year. He definitely deserves it. Bela Kotchak grew 3 ratings, and as we know, is still an exciting prospect. Had a shaky start to the season, but really picked it up with 16 clean sheets in 32 games. Schaefer is still only showing great potential. Disappointed he only grew 3 ratings considering he got 8 assists in 19 games and was really consistent in all the games he played this season. Julian Gutau still shows no potential tag but grew 5 ratings this season. Finn Ole Becker went up by 4. He also still shows no potential tag whatsoever. Albert Simon does still have potential to be special. 13 goals and 11 assists in 34 games. Pretty impressive, growing 5 ratings this year, though he could have done a little bit more possibly. And of course we get through to Diawusi here. 11 goals and 7 assists, growing 4 ratings to 72 overall. And as for the big dogs up top, obviously Gadikli, but first rounds for the above, 32 goals and 15 assists in 34 games, growing 6 ratings to 77 overall. I thought by now he'd have the exciting prospect tag, but maybe at the start of next season. And as for Gadikli, I have to say, when I signed this guy, I thought he's a pure goal scorer, with the 72 finishing at then 18 years old. He's now 19, but he was known for the assists this year, not the goals he scored. He had 15 assists in the 27 games, and also got 8 goals himself as well. So one final look at the team management screen as well. We're still persisting with the 3-4-1-2. I've got to be honest, I think I am starting to get to grips with it now. I know at the start of the series I was all over the place using this formation, but it's just time, you know. It's like learning a new skill, learning a new play style. It takes time, so I'm starting to get used to it now. And as you can see, we have grown another half a star. We're now 3.5 star rated with Dresden, growing 1 full star this season. So one final thing we'll do, as you can see, is promote 4 of our youth players to the first team. I decided to release 1, but the other 4 got promoted. I can't stand youth players being unsettled at the end of the season. It's really frustrating because oftentimes it will reduce their potential, but there's not really much you can do about it unless you just want to let them go. And also a brief look at the Bundesliga this year. I forgot to show this last season, so sorry about that. But Bayern Munich were champions, and they did win it last year as well, finishing 3 points clear of Borussia Dortmund. And at the other end as well, VfL Bochum and Mainz went down, and Hamburg lost the playoff to Union Berlin. So Cesar Valente could not provide heroics, as Union Berlin are joining us and Freiburg in the Bundesliga next year. Wolfsburg won the cup. Liverpool beat Inter in a 5-goal thriller in the Europa League. 3 English teams were in the semis there. And as for the Champions League, very interesting indeed. Napoli were the winners, beating Barcelona in the final after a truly bizarre tie against Manchester City. So that will do it for today's episode of Club and Country and the season finale as well. There is of course a World Cup in 2022. I'll show you what happened at the very beginning of the very next episode, where we'll begin a brand new season with Dynamo Dresden as our 3rd year gets underway, as we'll be playing Bundesliga football for the first time ever with Dynamo Dresden. Thanks for watching the episode and the season as a whole, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country, where we recap the World Cup and begin life in the Bundesliga for the very first time with Dynamo Dresden very soon.